What's up, guys? How's it going? It's me, Go to Fish Pit. And, also, no, we're just gonna get right into it. So basically, they've got this thing called the Battle of Enyo that's coming up. Not exactly sure when this is gonna arrive, but if you've noticed your system messages, they've got a bit.ly link that takes you straight to this. And basically, uh, what they're gonna do is, it's the way that they're describing this. I'm not gonna lie. This from the get go, you basically get like a couple of routes that you pick, and again, this is another like kind of similar to void supremacy. It sounds like, but here's what it says. So at the start of the battle, alliances from both sides must contest tactical relays, and winners gain a buff for that round. If the enemy alliance doesn't select the tactical relay targeted by your alliance, then a victory is assured. So both sides have to hit the same relays in order to get the buff. Now, I don't know, translation wise, a little murky there, but obviously, the gist of this is whatever relay you're assigned to, everybody's going to be going for that relay. If you don't, then the enemy's going to get that buff, whatever that buff may be, and I have no clue what that buff is. Troops from both sides will march along those three routes. Okay, so we have three routes, and then you got to defend, or presumably defend, but it says to capture defense nodes. Which I'm assuming those defense nodes are probably some kind of fort, base, whatever it be. And then troops on each route will then move in turn. Winner will engage the hostile force with the remaining force. Again, translation, little murky, but I'm getting the gist of basically whoever the hell takes it over and wins, each force can gain 2 victories at most. Which, I don't know, as vague as that sounds, it sounds kind of like maybe if you think of this as like a MOBA for a moment, and assuming you had troops coming out of towers automatically, right? I don't know if they're like presumably trying to describe a MOBA here. I'm not really sure. The alliance defeats all hostile forces along one route, and the winner of this route, and then they place the banner in the middle of the route. So, again, not really sure. Kind of thinking that that's, whatever the troops are, which I'm assuming those are probably the tower, kind of. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see it for when it actually arrives, I guess. Whoever places the most banners is considered victorious, and they'll receive 3 points. And if both sides place the same number of banners, then it's a tie, and they'll receive 1 point. Okay, so I guess between the routes, it doesn't sound like you're necessarily competing for your routes, which is a little weird, but okay. An alliance is automatic. Well, so maybe the routes themselves are AI that you're fighting, and you take out the AI. I don't know. That's just my my understanding of it, my interpretation of it. The alliance is automatically considered a winner if no opponent is found, and they receive 3 points. Yeah. So I don't know. Basically, they're just I hope you understand. It's like, yeah, well, not sure about that, but okay. So alliance marshals will choose members, which okay, that makes sense. Kind of like void supremacy. Uh, I'm assuming the tactical relays are gonna be pretty important from what I get from the gist of this. And then it says here marshals and lieutenants should chip in the wisdom and strategic planning. Counselors, elites, and active members should fully execute orders. Which, yeah, I mean, that's kind of obvious. Basically, join, fight. If you don't, you're basically screwing your guild. What's your role in the alliance? And then what the rule mention? How will your army make a difference in the Battle of Enyo? What will you plan to help the alliance achieve final blah blah blah? And of course, you can leave comments and you can get a prize at the 25th of November. So now you kind of know what's up. But, anyways, so going back on to more relevant topics. So the Battle of Enyo is kind of like an event, like Void Supremacy, I suppose. I don't know when that's necessarily going to arrive, or when, where, how, I don't know. But one thing that I have noticed, at least in my experience of playing the game here in the last couple of months. Now, granted, some of you guys who are new, all right, and you're just wanting to play this game, no, don't feel compelled to do any one thing. I can tell you that a lot of people who are trying to build like traps, or people that are trying to build up like an army, the first thing I can recommend to you is you definitely want to go after hitting all those inactive castles. So, well, I say castles, but bases that are floating around, because essentially those are going to be your targetable free resources. It's going to be substantially faster than gathering from, like, say, the nodes out and around you, or even the super resource nodes that you can get at your alliance. Assuming your alliance is coordinated and has space platforms where nodes apply. But, obviously, well, the point I'm trying to get at here is that, yes, attacking other players is generally going to be a more resourceful means by which you're going to get resources. Preferably the ones that are guildless, not the ones that are in a guild, because that's usually a bad idea. But, that said, of course, I did get kind of, well, somewhat, informed that, basically if you want to do something on a daily basis, obviously do your scans, because what you're going to want to do every day is you're just going to want to make sure that you're working on a single hero at a time. I wouldn't try to do like 5 or 6 at a time like I did, because the consequences of doing 5 or 6 at a time is now it's like, oh, if only I had, X amount of fragments, I could have finished this one from, 7 to 8. And I don't have the ability to without like without spending an enormous, egregious amount of time to get there, or spending to get there. Now I will say with like a couple of the newer heroes that are out there that some people may or may not know about, I'm gonna just point out that like Avar and Lysander are both counterattack heroes. I don't really know what I feel on those. It's like it's nice that you can counterattack, but I don't know how important that is in comparison to like something like Rebound, where, uniquely enough, Alastor's on a pay to win, so you can get Alastor, you just got to do them in events. So it's like, in a way, I feel like, for a lot of people, if you just want a generic explanation, just know the blue heroes are resource heroes, and you tack those on anytime you're gathering. Depends on the hero that you're using, though. Be sure to actually check, and if you don't know how to check, just tap the hero, and then you'll see that in here it'll actually tell you fuel, or vice versa, for the collecting speed. Obviously, Greyfax is like all around, so that's just something to know. But anyway, the main thing I wanted to get at here today, at least, was kind of the Battle of Enyo event and everything. So I don't know what you guys plan on doing. I don't, hell, I don't even know what our alliance is planning on doing, but I can tell you from at least the gist that I've gotten out of it, it does sound like we have another event on the way. So we'll just kind of have to make do with what we know so far. The main thing with every event is, I see this so often, is people will waste their freaking healing speeds. Like, in Void Supremacy of all events too. I don't even know why people do that. Like, it's actually pointless. But yeah, I don't know. I could go on a tangent on a lot of different topics, I guess, but I will point out that, like, one thing that I'm still struggling to do myself is I find it very difficult to get resources in this game unless you're, and I'm trying really hard not to actually attack players. I'm trying to do it like the old-fashioned way, like if you were just going to gather off of nodes and such. So I gather nodes, and that's all I do. And I will tell you that predators are a big must, but while lest you do get your predators to get faster resource collection and such, the caveat to this is that I find myself in this position a lot more than I would prefer, but like, you need resources to be able to like upgrade your buildings and such, but you also need your resources to build troops. And I've been pretty much wasting most of my resources on making predators so that I can then gather more resources, because like higher tier level 7 predators are going to obviously collect faster and collect more. which it's more bang for your buck. And in a sense, you're progressively making your effectively more resource gains over time, right? But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing to increase your resources. I obviously, I'm getting really tired of doing it the way I'm currently doing it. But the reason why is, as you can see, I've got about 22 days of attack production. And then after that, I figured, okay, I'm just gonna go let loose and start attacking players for resources again. But I figured I'd try this out just to see how well this would really turn out. And I don't know, it's just been kind of a nice, cozy little operation so far. But let me know what you guys think, because I honestly don't even know. I do have one guy in our in particular. Congrats to Seth, because I know Seth just recently worked his way up to 36 on the battle barge, which again, anybody to everybody that works their way up on battle barge level, man, that stuff is crazy expensive. I'm not even kidding when I say that. Like, I thought Lord's Mobile was bad. This game makes it like feel all so much more real. Like, imagine paying 160,000. And even worse, it's like I don't even know how to get that many resources, let alone. But now there are some packs out there in case anyone wants like some pack suggestions. I love the 30-day oath. I could care less about any of the other packs though. 30-day oath is pretty good. Everything else is not so great in my opinion. Like especially any of the packs in here. Maybe stamina pack and AP pack are okay, but like everything else is it. I wouldn't really bother unless you're just in a rush. Now these weekend specials are kind of neat. The first one that I got for $5 is not too bad, but obviously they do have some Void Supremacy packs and stuff for Supremacy. The legendary bargain packages are also not a bad buy. At least for what you get in terms of like the little fragments and such for that hero, but that all depends on whether or not you're wanting to min-max like Maya or any other hero for that matter that's available in the bargain. Like I don't really like jumping on that because it's just not as worth in my opinion. But anyway, I mean, all the same, I hope you guys enjoy your day. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. See you guys.